In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on May 27, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Baltimore Orioles versus Boston Red Sox. American League East foes will open a 4-game series on Friday night at Fenway Park, with the Baltimore Orioles visiting the Boston Red Sox. Baltimore enters in last place at 18-27 after dropping 2 of 3 to the New York Yankees, including a 2-0 loss in Wednesday's rubber game as a plus 139 underdog. Boston took 2 of 3 from the Chicago White Sox thanks to a 16-7 blowout win on Thursday as a minus 127 favorite, and is now 21-23 overall on the year. The Orioles took 2 of 3 at home from the Red Sox in the first series of 2022 between the divisional rivals back in late April. Baltimore hasn't beaten the Red Sox in any season series since 2017. Baltimore is 55-121 in their last 176 games overall and 29-66 in their last 95 games as an underdog, while the under is 5-0 in their last 5 games against a team with a losing record. Boston is 5-0 in their last 5 series opening games and 6-1 in their last 7 games overall, while the over is 4-0 in their last 4 games as a home favorite. The majority of the American League East is beating up on each other this weekend, including this series with the Orioles and Red Sox. Not many baseball fans would have imagined they would enter this matchup with a similar record, but that's where they stand. However, Boston has looked far better than they did to start the season. They recently just had their 6-game winning streak snapped, but they should be able to keep this new one rolling once again against Baltimore. There's no denying the Orioles have stolen games they shouldn't have. They've done so against the Yankees recently, but they seem to play above expectations against them specifically. Now having to visit Fenway Park, things should go as expected with a Sox lineup that has been hitting well recently. They'll be facing starter Kyle Bradish, whose first start of the season was also against Boston. The Sox took that game at the end of April, and that was during their struggling times. Baltimore's biggest issue is their poor starting rotation. Without their lefty ace John Means, most casual fans couldn't even name any of their starters. Their lineup has had some timely hitting and their bullpen has been far better than expected, but they simply allow too many runs early in games. That is something Boston has been excelling at ever since Trevor Story began his hot streak. The most notable was the explosion of 16 runs in the first 5 innings against the White Sox earlier this week, and then another 6 in the first 2 frames last night. It may not be quite up to those numbers, but look for the Red Sox to jump out to an early lead on the way to a series opening win. So the Boston Red Sox to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Orioles are averaging 3.53 runs per game and 3 runs per game on the road. They averaged 4 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Red Sox, with Boston giving up 4.5 runs per game at home. The Orioles will hit their average in this game. The Red Sox are averaging 4.44 runs per game and 4.3 runs per game at home. They averaged 3 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Orioles. Not only has Trevor Story been on fire lately, Rafael Devers, J.D. Martinez, and Xander Bogaerts were never cold. Despite the Red Sox struggles to begin the year, they have quietly been 3 of the best hitters in the league. They each have over 50 hits and among the league leaders in OPS. Devers specifically lit up the Orioles in the previous series, having multiple hits in all 3 games. More importantly, the Red Sox have been putting it together recently, notably at home. It would be easy to only mention them producing 16 runs in 2 of the last 3 games. But let's also look back to their most recent home series against the Mariners. All 4 games had totals over 10, with Boston doing the majority of the damage. They had team totals off 12, 7, 6, and 8, and are now facing a struggling young starter. The overall season numbers may not prove it just yet, but the recent results support higher totals. Even the series prior to that against the Astros had 2 of the 3 games go over. Baltimore has not been slouches themselves either, as 3 of their last 4 games have had double-digit totals. With the way runs have racked up in Fenway recently, and with Baltimore giving up 4.95 runs per game on the road, the Red Sox will score enough runs to push the score. So trust the trend to continue. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Guardians versus Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers play host to the Cleveland Guardians on Friday night in the second game of their weekend series from Comerica Park. The Tigers were able to come away with the win in the opener, escaping with a narrow 4-3 win to set the tone. The two split a pair of games less than a week ago and over the last year. This has been a somewhat even series between the American League Central rivals. Looking at the standings, only a few games separate these two teams, and coming away with a series win on the weekend is crucial to each group going forward. The Guardians will continue to be favored, but the Tigers certainly won't back down at home. The Guardians are 3-8 in their last 11 Friday games and 1-5 in their last 6 in Game 2 of a series. The under is 4-1 in Cleveland's last 5 in Game 2 of a series. Meanwhile, the Tigers are 47-123 in their last 180 versus the American League Central and 5-11 in their last 16 in Game 2 of a series. Detroit is 16-40 in their last 56 Friday games. Alex Fito sits with an ERA of 3.3. Cleveland is going to struggle to score here. The Garrettons only scored 3 runs on Thursday, and that's the max they will score here. Fito has looked pretty solid so far this year. In his last 3 games, he's got 5 earned on 14 hits and 5 walks in 16 innings. As for Bieber, he had a blow-up game versus Toronto on May 7th, but he's been solid in his 2 starts since with 13 innings and 3 earned. This one looks like a fun pitching matchup. If Detroit can get some offense going, I could see them bagging another W. The Tigers don't win high-scoring games, but they aren't going to need many runs to get the job done here. So the Detroit Tigers money line is our full game side pick. Bieber and Fito have been 2 of the more exciting pitchers in the American League Central, even despite their record, and shouldn't have any issues eating up innings and finding success. The Guardians have fallen off the map when it comes to their offensive production, while the Tigers rank last in baseball in some other categories themselves. Additionally, for the Guardians, the under is both 4-0 in their last 4 games against a right-handed starter and 4-0 in their last 4 games against American League Central foes. For the Tigers, the under is 5-0 in their last 5 Friday games and 5-0-1 in their last 6 home games against a right-handed starter. Detroit SP Eduardo Rodriguez has been placed on the 10-day injured list with an injury to his left rib cage. Through 41 games, Cleveland ranks 17th in OPS and 17th in runs scored. For the season, Detroit ranks 30th in OPS and 30th in runs scored. This is expected to be one of the lowest scoring games of the weekend. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Philadelphia Phillies versus New York Mets. The Philadelphia Phillies head for the Big Apple as they take on the New York Mets in a battle of National League East rivals. This is already the 4th series between these two clubs in 2022, with New York getting the better of Philadelphia in their first 3 meetings, garnering a 6-3 head-to-head advantage this year. The Phillies will hand the ball to Zach Eflin in the opener. He will be opposed by Carlos Carrasco for the Mets. The Phillies are 6-13 in their last 19 games as a road underdog and 2-5 in their last 7 overall. The Mets are 5-1 in their last 6 Friday games and 4-1 in their last 5 games as a favorite. The over is 4-1 in Phillies' last 5 overall. The over is 4-1 in Mets' last 5 overall. The Phillies are 2-6 in the last 8 meetings. Philadelphia has had a rough start to the season. They are scoring 9th in the majors, and the starting pitching is solid, 6th in quality starts. But the bullpen is mediocre at best, and it is hurting the team. This team still has room to grow at the plate, especially with Kyle Schwarber striking out more than 1/3 of the time and hitting under .200. Fellow free agent acquisition Nick Castellanos has not given them as much as expected either. The Mets are very comfortable heading into the weekend. The future might be a little murky though, with Max Scherzer joining Jacob deGrom on the injury list. Nevertheless, they are still the only team in the National League East with a record over .500 so far this season. That is even after dropping 2 of 3 against the Giants to start the week. They are 4th in scoring, with Pete Alonso getting hot this month. He leads the National League in RBI with 41. Philadelphia starter Zach Eflin has only 1 win on the season, but he has actually pitched pretty well. He is 28, so he might be coming into his own, and the Dodgers definitely don't want to see him again anytime soon. He struck out 12 Los Angeles batters in his last outing. Carlos Carrasco was supposed to be the Mets' 4th or 5th starter this season, but right now he is being relied on more than that. He has looked pretty good so far, though with a couple of clunkers. He has really high variance. There's a lot to like about Philadelphia when the likes of Aaron Nola or Zach Wheeler are on the mound, even with their struggles at the plate. With Eflin out there, Things are less certain, but that is reflected in the pricing. Given how inconsistent the Phillies have been this season, they are a fade in this spot. Zach Eflin has been great this season, but he's still been on the losing side in 4 of his 7 starts. The Philadelphia Phillies just find ways to lose more times than not, and they're a frustrating team to back. Carlos Carrasco has allowed just 7 runs in his last 24.1 innings. And the Mets offense is on fire right now. I have to ride the hot hand and side with the Mets in the reasonable price at home, so the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. The Phillies are the top offensive road team in MLB, averaging 5.4 runs per road game this season, and the Mets are 10th, averaging just under 4.6 runs per game at home. With Eflin's past struggles and the Phillies being the worst defensive team in MLB, I see the Mets performing even better than that average. Both Eflin and Carrasco have been solid so far, but far from untouchable. Carrasco has been roughed up in 2 of his last 5 outings and is prone to the blow-up inning. While the Mets have already had success against Eflin this year, both teams sport potent lineups with plenty of power. Look for each team to flex their muscles on Friday night as the Mets enter averaging over 9 runs per contest over their last 3, and the Phillies enter ranked inside the top 10 in runs scored, batting average, and OPS. The over is 6-2 in New York's last 8 and 3-1 in Philadelphia's last 4, with the over also being 4-1 in the last 5 games for both clubs coming into Friday. I expect this game to exceed the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.